I own a coffee shop, starting a food production company, own a pickleball company.
Okay.
Really passionate about senior development, independent living, senior housing.
Where do I start? Like, you know, you loved coffee and then you found a spot and you're like, this is gonna work. Is that something that you would recommend? Just always keep your eyes open, and then like, how does that happen?
Yeah, kind of. Some of it's business, and then some of it is see a need, fill a need. We're here for others. We're not here for ourselves.
Right. Maybe this is the next progression, is not us doing all of it, us mentoring for the next generation, the next group of people to become athletes, or, you know, coffee shop owners, or find a new sport like Dope Pickle, or you know, whatever it is. Find someone who you see has a big heart that wants to help and mentor, and
lean in.
If it's Macy, have him buy you a cup of coffee at his shop, because he probably gets a discount. Hello, my name is Kandra Witkowski. I'm the Director of Business Development here at Scoop Soldiers. And one of my most favorite parts of my job is getting to co-host the Find Your Gold podcast, where we hope to inspire entrepreneurship and maybe, just maybe, find our next franchise owner, someone that might become our next pet waste millionaire. You never really know. Putting poop in a bucket is kind of my jam, right? But we are on the road again, and as normal, I find people and friends that maybe don't always want to be on a podcast, but I find a way to convince them. And I've pulled in Macy here today. He's a friend of mine, and I'll let him introduce himself and maybe tell us a couple of the companies that you own.
Thanks for having me, first of all. My name is Macey Brooks.
Okay.
Played some professional sports.
I heard once or twice.
Yeah. So,
what teams?
I was drafted by Dallas,
Okay.
so I played for Dallas for a little while.
Okay.
Played for Chicago Bears, a little time with the Oakland Raiders.
Okay. And are you from Chicago?
I'm not.
So how'd you end up back in Chicago?
Good question. Born in Arizona, moved to Germany when I was 1.5, 2. Lived there till I was 12, then moved to Virginia.
Oh, well, okay.
So kind of Virginia is kind of my...
Like your
my
your
state's
home.
home.
Yeah. Okay. That's pretty cool. So bounced around the NFL a little bit, and then decided, hey, it's time to start running a bunch of businesses. And because it's Macy, he just didn't own one. So why don't you run us through a list of the businesses that you can remember that you do?
It's interesting because when I was playing football, I was always thinking about the businesses that I wanted to run and not so much the football. So, so now, fast forwarding, I own a coffee shop.
Okay.
Starting a food production company. We didn't talk about that.
Yeah, we forgot it. I don't think I knew that one.
I own a pickleball company.
Okay.
And really passionate about senior development. So independent living, senior housing, things of that nature, memory care. So I'm really just really focused on that.
Okay. So I love coffee. Yeah. So let's roll back to the coffee shop.
Yeah.
Fabulous
there's a coffee shop.
The coffee shop, the beginning. Yeah. So what drew you to a coffee shop? Like, where were you like, this is what I should do?
Interesting.
Like most entrepreneurs, we really don't know. This just happens.
Yeah. It was by happenstance. It was more, I loved coffee. I found a product that I loved that was local. Yep. And I knew the people. Mm-hmm. And we just started building a relationship. I started working in wholesale for them. Okay. And I knew the roaster very well. We're really good friends. And so in some of my real estate endeavors have got me to find a location that was perfect for a coffee shop in North Aurora. Okay. And I went to the owner of Krema, Casey, and told her I think I found a location, and we opened up a spot.
And so the original is in Plainfield, right?
Correct.
Downtown Plainfield. Yep. And then so do you own that location, or are you the manager? I don't know how that works. Like, are you co-owner, or like just like?
No. So Krema was established prior to me ever knowing about them. Right. And then basically it's might as well be a franchise. Okay. If you will. Okay. Not that she's looking for franchise. Right. So in the franchising world, there's all kinds of things, but she's more of a multi-location. Yep. And so you are like the managing partner, investor. You run that location. There are lots, like you. Yes, but we have a general manager that runs them all.
Perfect. Okay. Right? Perfect.
Honestly, I deliver the bagels.
Well, to be honest, Well, if you're ever looking for someone to deliver bagels, I would say hire me, but I'd also say that's probably not a good idea because I'd be like, oh, I lost a couple of them.
That's not a bad job.
Okay. So, and where in, because obviously it's Chicagoland, so where is your coffee shop in Aurora? Because Aurora is very big.
It is. It's at the intersection of Orchard and Randall.
Orchard and Randall, perfect. All right. So if you're in the area,
yes,
it's not a bad cup of joe, and the bagels are fabulous. They're fabulous. So okay, so then we're through
and
bagels.
The service is
I've never like everyone's smiling, and even I would even say like at your place, and I'm a fairly involved coffee person.
Good.
But I've been there, and there's like if someone doesn't know what a latte is or a what, like your staff is always very sweet and kind, and it's not intimidating, right? So if there's something that you don't know, like, and you like, there was someone in front of me when I was getting coffee there last time, and they took the time to explain the whole thing. And then when that person moved on and I walked up to order my coffee, your person there was, I'm like, no. I'm like, you're fine. Like, right? Like, that's how you make sales. That's how you get customers to come back is by educating them and getting them what they need. If you're not selling them what they need, what's the point, right? Like, what's the point?
It's a weird dynamic. If you can actually empower your customer, then they lean into you.
Right. You're the person that helped them.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so, even with coffee. It's just coffee.
Yeah. And coffee can be a little intimidating because there's a lot of terminology that people don't know.
We all like it the way we like it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And even the process. And then unfortunately, Starbucks has taught people not necessarily good coffee. They haven't really taught them. But anyway, so we do love to serve as kind of ambassadors and educators of it.
Perfect. So then tell me about Dope Pickle.
Yeah.
So so you're gonna laugh at me. So I've played pickleball once. Again, I live in the woods. I'm not close to anything. Right. Literally a bobcat walked around my window last week. I'm not in a spot, but I played once and I loved it. And then life, I'm crazy. Life gets busy. I bought a pickleball net.
Oh yes.
But I've not bought paddles or pickleballs. So I got a little sidetracked.
It's like buying fishing line without a pole.
Right. So my husband's like, "What got delivered?" I'm like, "Oh shoot, that's my pickleball net." He's like, "Oh," and then we were cleaning the barn. It's a nice barn. I live in the woods. He's like, "Well, what are you doing with this?" I'm like, "I'm gonna play pickleball." He's like, "Do you want to finish getting the stuff that you need?" I'm like, "It's just leave the net there. It's going to happen." Okay. So tell me about Dope Pickle. It's the pickleball craze. Everybody loves it. But how did you get drawn into pickleball, and how did you get to Dope Pickle, and where's it at? Where's it going?
Yes, another good question. Some old NFL players of mine called me one day, told me Drew Brees was buying a pickleball team.
Okay.
I didn't know what pickleball was.
Okay.
And so I did my research.
Okay.
They said that you would love it.
Okay.
So upon my research, it looked very interesting, enticing. So I finally got the apparel. And
so you started with buying the stuff that you need to play pickleball.
I bought the stuff, and I wanted to kind of look decent while I did it.
Right. No, I didn't.
I laid it all out. I'm like, okay, that looks right. Okay, I think I can go do this now. Right? It looks right. I don't know how to play yet.
Right.
But it looks right.
But we're there.
Yes,
we're starting.
Yes. So I have the stuff. I get there and I go play, and this is after 3 months of research and hitting the ball off the wall, right? So now I'm ready to go play. And I play my first game against 2 7-year-old ladies.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Did you school them?
Right? So I'm thinking, okay, let me tone it down a little bit.
Right. Like I'm an athlete.
Yeah, I don't need to
let it. Like some senior ladies. Yeah, like we don't need to smash it.
Leave my athleticism on the walls here. I'm just gonna just chill, right? And so I started playing the game. Then I realized, okay, you might want to sprinkle in some athleticism now because
they're
hitting the ball pretty well.
You got your ass kicked by some...
So then I start sprinkling on more athleticism, but it's not helping. Okay, no amount of athleticism helped me be better that day.
Like you've met my mom. My mom's come to here, so you also help at the senior center, and we'll get to that. But I'm picturing my mom and her walker just smashing the ball.
It's not far off. It's not far off because they didn't move. So they could have had a walker. However, I was fully capable and was getting smashed.
Right.
But what was so beautiful about it, for me, like competition is kind of everything. It's what actually got me to the level I got to.
Yeah.
So and competition was so important that unfortunately, I wasn't always good in the process of losing. Mm-hmm. And this was the first time that I actually had got my butt totally whopped at something. Even though it was my first day, I still had expectations.
Right.
But I loved it. Like I walked out of there sweating, got beat up, but was elated. And before I left, like I was basically welcomed into this community.
Yeah, they're so nice.
Like the fact that there's this community of just people that are like-minded around pickleball, nothing else necessarily, nothing else, but just pickleball. It is, it ends up being a little bit of a sanctuary. Yeah. And I think that's the draw is that people go and they already know it's going to be warm. Obviously you got your outliers, but yet it seems like before you know it, you're going to be passing, like your pot roast recipes. Like it's quickly. So it's,
and I guess it can go everywhere from 70-year-old grandmas to NFL players and
apparently
like everything in between. So I went with my friend Lisa in Missouri. When I was kind of in between jobs and I got laid off, and I went with her and I didn't have anything. Again, I just showed up in my running gear, right? Yeah. And she loaned me one of her paddles. And my first thing was, I'm like, please, because I know paddles are not always cheap. And I was like, please tell me please give me the cheapest paddle that you own because I'm not coordinated. And I go in like you, like I'm competitive. And so I didn't know what I was doing. It was very confusing. I don't know why. Finally, I got it. And she looked at me, she's like, because I'm falling on the ground. I'm diving for balls. And she's like, it's the park district. Just relax. Just relax. But I was like,
amped up and ready to go.
I'm
the same way.
My rules, get on or get out of the way. I don't care either way. Sure. Either get on or get out of the way. And so apparently that's not how you start your first day at pickleball. We lost too. I mean, not mainly, completely because of me.
I was a first-time diver.
I was. Sure. She's like, "Are you?" I'm like, "Yeah, no, I'm good." Rub that raspberry off. Like, let's go. Like, get her going again. Like, I'll fall down 5 more times, but eventually I'll hit the ball once. All right. So now you've learned. You've Drew Brees is buying a pickleball. So you were like, okay, let me try this. Let me do my research. Now you're like, I'm in. I'm hooked.
No, I'm in.
Now what do we do?
So the same ladies, they beat me for a couple more weeks. And but then they're gracious, right? They were like, "Oh, Macy, you're so cute. Keep coming, getting your butt beat, And God, you're just always so cute though when you're getting your butt beat by us, right?"
All right, so now we're at pickleball. Yeah. You got your fanny whooped by some grandmas who went home and was like, "You can't believe I played pickleball with an NFL player and I ruined him." Right? Yes. All right, so now we got that. Business is developing, and what are the products and things that are in your catalog?
I mean, mostly it's apparel and training. So there's a lot of lessons. Okay. We're looking at facilities, but we don't know if we really want that. But right now we're just getting to the people and teaching. So I teach for a senior center. I teach for the Park District. I teach for Rush Copley Tennis Club.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Okay.
And I'm an ambassador for Pickler.
Yep, I've seen that. And spell that for me because it's not spelled.
Yeah, Piklr.
Okay. Yep, I knew that was. And so what's Pickler?
Pickler is a pickleball club.
Okay. Is it nationwide or is it like?
It is nationwide.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they actually have one almost in every state now, if not multiple.
Okay.
And so, we have a couple here in our area. And so I kind of focus on the seniors, senior community. Just through a tournament with the senior center in Park District with 50 and up. And so I'm 50. And so I'm focusing on us old folks. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you're old as crap. I mean, I'm only 48 and a half,
Dusty.
Which apparently I've been told I can quit saying a half.
Yeah.
I'm also 5'2" and a half. So I'm not giving up on the halfs. So now we're in the seniors. The senior I'm ish. Yeah. Well, my gray hair gives me away all the time. But, what are you gonna do? Right. All right. So I gotta ask, I don't hate seniors. I care for 2 regularly. They're mine. I'm contractually obligated. No, I say that jokingly, but I help my parents. And so I don't think, I say it all the time. One day you have parents and the next day you have 80-year-old toddlers, right? Like you help them with all the things. So that's a special kind of heart that what drew you into helping seniors? That's not like baking cakes or baking bagels
No, there's always a story. Yeah. So earlier I mentioned that I grew up in Germany. And I got there when I was 1.5 to 12 years old. And so during that period, I was around other children who had grandparents sending them stuff, grandparents that would visit them, or they would go back to the States and visit them. And so for me, it was just, we always, as humans, we're always, longing for what we don't have.
Right.
And grandparent, that relationship was one of the things that I never really had. And so at a young age, I think I was like 8, I just decided, okay, I'm just going to adopt every old person. Like at 8 years old, I'm saying all old people are going to be my grandparents.
Right, you look old. Do you want to be my grandpa?
Yeah. And so, it wasn't as conscious as I say it, but yet
you found
I still felt that, and it happened. It just, and so I opened my heart to that, and that's what has gravitated to me.
Yeah.
And so I also see, though, or I should say, I went to school, majored in health administration, minored in gerontology and business.
Oh my gosh.
And so when you open up gerontology, unfortunately, you start to see problems, right? You see challenges,
right?
You see pinch points,
right?
And so my mind goes to those. It just naturally goes to problems and want to solve them. And so one of them was just nursing homes in general.
Yeah,
didn't feel like it was a place for seniors to finish.
Right.
Like just that term and the term that goes along with the building.
Yeah,
it's not necessarily the best place. So there's been a kind of a movement of more independent living and keeping people in place and home care and all that stuff, which brings up other like travel issues, transportation. So anyway, I've just found that I have the patience to listen through the stories, right? And but then also be there to help and just provide and be a resource.
It's crazy. Yeah. And I feel like I'm fairly neurotic in most things. I have my dad book, I have my mom book, I'm like all the things. And I asked my friend Kelly, she's my doctor back in Missouri, and I'm like, because we went for a run one day, and I'm like, I don't like how do people who don't have neurotic daughters, like how, like this stuff is confusing for me. And I'm, my parents have a lot of health issues.
And that's just medication, right?
Yeah, right. No, we're not talking about who's getting my dad his dang bananas, right? Who's getting my mom to chair volleyball. Like we don't even talk about those things. But how does, that's a huge thing that a certain person has to have a calling to. And then once you call to it, you have to have the right skill set to help do it. So now you work at the Oswego Senior Center. What do you do there?
Facility and program manager. Okay. So I teach some classes, deal with the building. Okay. Try to bring new development, bring new programs.
And so is that like that's a regular W-2 job, right? So how is that inspiring you to do? Because I know there's another business back in here that's like itching you somewhere.
For sure.
So is there something that you're gonna take a turn towards to help seniors more?
Yes. And when I spoke of the nursing homes, senior development, senior housing is a passion of mine, and working currently trying to do some development of that.
Okay, that's cool.
So currently working on a project.
I would have admired that anyways, but now that in the current state of my life, I admired it even more because it is so stinking hard. It's so hard to manage all of the things, right? And we've been fortunate that my parents do have some health issues and they need a lot of help, but we've been able to keep them in their home through a spider web of caretakers and
home health caretakers.
Yeah, and we have someone a person that comes, Lisa from the used to be at the chamber. She comes in and she trims toenails and fingernails and cuts hair and all of these
personal
things.
Care.
All of they don't fix anything anymore. All of those things have to happen. So we're fortunate enough that we have an extended enough family and a deep enough bench that we can keep them where they want to be.
Right, and that's the fortunate part.
Sometimes, there are people that aren't. Now, can we do that forever? I don't know.
No.
But every day we're we made it through today and everyone's happy and
that's good.
On most weeks, most days we're standing up.
100%.
Most days we're standing up. Every now and then, my mom specifically, we call her ninja roll because somehow when she falls, she seems to this and she rolls. Okay. So I'm all those kinds of crazy things that happen.
Yeah,
so what's next for what's next? What's your next industry? So we've got coffee, we have pickleball, we have senior help. Is there something else out there that you're I don't know, maybe I'll end up being a pool installer, or maybe I'll get into pest control, or maybe dog training. Is there anything else out there tickling that you want to share? Don't share anything you don't want to share, but anything else there, because you got such a big net of ideas? Like, how do you limit it? Right?
Yeah. You know, I'm trying to fortify and fortify the things that I'm currently working.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Of course, I do have some other interests, but honestly, it comes back down. A lot of it is just some of it's business, and then some of it is see a need, fill a need.
Okay. See a need, fill a need. That's like, is that like, did you make that up?
No.
I'm gonna write that down.
No, it's a
thing.
It's a thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
See a need, fill a need. That's like, we should all, in general, you see a need, fill a need, right? Okay. Okay.
I think we are here as people. We're here for others. We're not here for ourselves.
Right,
We weren't put here, for selfish reasons.
To take up space.
Yeah. And so I think if there's anything about yourself that you deem positive, if you deem noteworthy, if you have a skill set that supersedes the average, I think it should be shared. It
should, yeah. So because the world's not always filled with people that are like open-hearted and open-minded and all. So how do you choose when there's people like us that are big-hearted that want to just help everyone? Like, how do you find where you're going to put your passion, right? Like that's like probably you can't even answer that question, right? Like it's one of those things that it just draws you in. Do you think that's? I don't even know how to term that.
No, I mean I wish there were 36-hour days for sure, but I figure you can only do so much. And if I feel like if I'm pouring into others, I get so much more out of it.
Right. True.
Whether it's financial or emotional, networking, promotes me, but all of that still someone else gets the benefit. Initially, and so I feel if I'm doing that, then the time is spent.
Yeah.
The time is spent well.
I think I've heard like givers get.
Yeah.
Givers get.
Yeah.
All right. So if there's somebody out there, like roll back to the NFL, because there's a kid out there watching the podcast, right? And they're like, I want to be an NFL player. I really love football. Like, what should I do? Like, what would you tell them are like the top 2 things, 3 things that they should focus on if they're in high school or middle school or they really enjoy the game? And is there anything that you can think of that you would tell them, yeah, man, for sure, do this every day?
Yes, I would not think about the NFL every day.
That's actually probably wiser, wiser than you like.
100%.
Okay. So what should they think of every day?
Because if I wanted to drive to Texas, I can't look at Texas.
True.
To get there. I can't even see Texas. And there's the right. So I just have to worry about that step. That's the first step in front of me, right? And then so on. And so I got lucky in the fact that I wasn't a fan. Okay. So you enjoyed the game? My time wasn't spent going and watching it and all of that. I got lucky that I was highly competitive.
Okay.
And so I competed in the layup line.
Okay.
Or I competed in the stretch.
Okay.
In the warm up. Okay. Like if the coach said do it this way and there's somebody that showed it, I want to do it exactly that way.
Okay.
If someone on my team got praised for something, I wanted to do how they did it or a little bit better to get the same praise. That's as far as I looked.
Okay.
So it was literally like if someone did something in front of me, I wanted to try to just do it better. Okay. And that was it. That was it. And it was literally, we're talking one play. Right. Not like I want to get all day, I want to be better than that person. No, I literally kept it small.
Like the little nuggets. You're like, wait.
And I probably was not as athletically mature as most because most are watching it and studying it and they're a fan of it. Since I was not a fan of it or watching and studying it, I was blessed to have some ability, and then I had this kind of competitive edge that made me always want to compete. And so what's needed at those other levels is a high level of competition.
Okay.
Competitive mind. Like that. Right. That is huge.
Right.
The skill set is one thing, and the training behind it is another thing, but the mentality behind the athleticism is tremendous.
So you are a girl dad.
I am.
You have Four girls.
Yes.
And so do your, I'm asking you, I know the answer, but your daughters are athletic. Do they have that competitive bite to them?
They do. They do.
I think it was, who was doing the weightlifting?
Danny. My number 2.
Yeah. I saw that. I was like, God dang, like look at her go. Right.
Yeah.
So how did you instill that in them? Or was that just through like see as I do, like that type of thing?
Some of it is environment. Because I also, I coached and I was a trainer for a long time. So they got to hear these conversations with other athletes and see the stuff. Some of it is genetic. Some of it, Danny does not like to lose or fail. And with that, there's an emotional toll that comes with not wanting to fail. And so it's funny to see her raw and see myself. And then I'm using pickleball as like my second chance at having a better attitude when it comes to athletics. And then now I'm seeing me kind of pour and help her shape where her mindset should be.
Those 70-year-old ladies, they humbled you, didn't they?
Yeah.
So the 2 older ones, are your 2 younger ones also athletic?
They are. They haven't really figured out,
where they're going to do it.
Yeah.
Okay. So if there's somebody, well, I'll ask you the same question. If there's somebody out there that's like, I love coffee, right? Like, where do I start? Like, you loved coffee and then you found a spot and you're like, this is going to work. Is that something that you would recommend? Just always keep your eyes open, and then like, how does that happen?
Yeah, kind of. If your mind is open to business, right? Then there's honestly, I think if I didn't have something that I feel like I could provide the business, then I'm probably not a partner.
Okay.
Right. And so I could lend some promoting, some of the deal making.
Right.
I can bring in another partner that would make our company strong right off the bat.
Right.
That's local, and we're not necessarily local to this area. Okay. So that collaboration kind of allowed us to kind of hit the ground,
Yeah, like a step ahead.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, honestly, it was really just a matter of relationships.
Okay. Talk to me about the competition, because you had mentioned Starbucks. I interviewed Jody with the Village Grind, who we all love Jody with the Village Grind. Yeah. Talk to me about competition and the difference between like a big box store, like a Starbucks or a Dunkin' or a Scooter's Coffee or whatever the heck it is, and then like a local, I don't say mom and pop shop, but like a local mom and pop shop.
Yeah, or independent. Yeah. So corporate and independent, they're just different in how they're held, and how decision-making processes are making. And then, there's obviously a point where quality is just going to have to potentially suffer because the quantity is so big. Starbucks can't get the exact same bean all the time. So
I didn't even know that.
Right, so they have to buy a certain amount of those beans, maybe from multiple regions, or maybe they can get them from one grower, but they still have to homogenize them.
Right. Okay. Right? Yeah. So they're like mixing them all up and like getting them close as they can.
So they have to roast it all to a certain temperature to get everything to kind of taste the same.
Okay.
But being a little bit smaller, we're able to be nimble and change and kind of pivot as well. So I think there's benefits to both. Obviously, you knew Starbucks' name before you knew Krema's name. Yeah. But there's also space. I think with competition, sometimes we have an idea and then we see competition and it can pause us. But sometimes you just actually looking at what the competition does allows you to find actually what your niche is. So
Jody said almost the exact same thing.
Like you can't, because actually it's almost a mirror of, okay, what do I do, but what don't I do? And then what do I do better than that? Right.
Like what's your niche? Like where are you holding? And the same thing like with Scoop Soldier, but any kind of business. When I working with a candidate, sometimes they'll tell me, I have questions about my area because there's already some scoopers here. I'm like, fabulous. fabulous, because scooping is not coffee. Like not everybody knows. You probably never knew that people put crap in a bucket for a living until you met me, right? Like, you know, like you may have like, what is that? Yeah. But it competition brings awareness to things, right? And not all competitors are nice together. Sure. But Jody had said the same thing, is that the Starbucks and the Dunkins or the whatever, like they've brought more people into the coffee world. And then they, by byproduct, they find Krema or the Grind or Braces or, you know, Oak and Bean or whatever it is. Yep. And then she said the same thing too. Like they have the bigger ones have some of the money for development and testing out whatever the new pumpkin spice, whatever the heck it is, right? And then you can kind of follow suit on that. Yep. But your stores just feel different. Your store, like I don't know if I've been to the one in Plainfield. I might have. But I've been to yours and it feels different. It just feels different. So why does it feel different? Can you put your finger on it?
It's by design.
Okay.
Honestly.
And if it's a top secret design, don't tell us.
It's not. It goes back to kind of when you brought up the education part, right? So we have coffee leaves and the berries a lot on our walls. Okay. A lot of people don't know what a coffee plant looks like. No. They didn't know that there were berries in there. You know what I mean?
I see them on the wall at your place. I didn't know that was, I honestly did not know that was coffee. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, so. I was like, why does he have this stuff hanging on the wall? Now I understand. Now I know.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Okay. And then, you know, we've got a couple murals of individuals, you know, Gandhi and Martin and, you know, just all, you know, Betty White, like a range of individuals who have just bestowed upon us more than just their life, right? Yeah. They have left an imprint, and we just also like to kind of show, bring to light some of the nuance of some of these people that we've known, but yet we maybe didn't know that they didn't know this. Yeah, they did this, or their perspective on this was this, you know, so. It's a little, I can see that. I can for sure see that. And the customer service. Mr. Rogers is up on
Mr. Rogers. So Betty White. So this is not like, okay, you know, people always die in threes, right? They say die in threes. I don't remember when Betty White died. I not jokingly think that I killed Betty White because we were in our house, my husband and I, and I don't remember who was, the second person died, and people die in threes. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I looked at him and said, somebody found Betty White. Like someone check on Betty White. The next day Betty White died. Oh my God. 100% I killed Betty White. Like I don't know how I did it, but I know.
You made her the third.
Like I honestly didn't, like 100% I did not kill Betty White. But I was also like, oh my God, did I put like that bad juju into the air? But I don't know, like you're probably gonna unfriend me on Facebook now that you know I killed Betty White. But that was, whenever I hear Betty, I'm like, shoot, I killed Betty White. Like I hate that I killed Betty. But yeah, so those threes, I think it's a thing.
She's one of our favorites.
I no longer
throw those names out.
I don't bring any names up at all.
No telling what kind of power you got.
Listen, I've already done enough damage. I'm not going to do that again. So, all right. So then, like, let's kind of like wrap on just mentoring and like entrepreneurship in general. Like, how do you, like, obviously with the senior center you're helping, how do you inspire other people? Like naturally it just comes out of you. And I kind of asked the question, then I second guess myself, like, I don't think that people always know how they just inspire, right? So do you have like a conscious awareness? Are you intentional on certain things to help, you know, like you're old, I'm a little old, but like how are you passing it along? Like, how are you doing that? Because you do it every day.
Consciously, not as much consciously. I think I'm a coach by nature. It's so funny. I used to say that I would never, as an athlete, I was like, I don't want to be a coach. I don't want to be a coach.
Yeah, I'm an athlete. I'm not.
Didn't want that life. But I just find, since I do a lot and try a lot and have failed a lot, but I say that in jest because, you know, now in hindsight, like those by no means were failures because I now have got this information. Right. And so, you know, I think it's important to share. And if you have information for people or an experience that can help someone, I think you know, if that table is open, if that a line of communication is available, then you lend it. I think that there's just so many times where you have to do it the hard way. Mm-hmm. There's no need to do it the hard way. Maybe because if you ask the dumb question that you didn't want to ask, that you thought was so dumb, you're not dumb anymore.
Yeah,
you're not dumb anymore.
Okay, so that's the new thing. Ask the dumb questions so you're not dumb anymore. Words of wisdom from Macey Brooks. Ask the dumb questions so you're not dumb anymore.
Because if you are the one walking around with a pocket full of dumb questions, then you're the dummy. You are dumb.
You are dumb. Yeah. That is that actually that's.
Yeah. And so I remember that. I remember not wanting to ask the dumb question.
Because you didn't want to look dumb. I didn't want to look dumb.
Right?
So I won't look dumb. I'll just be dumb.
I'm just going to be over here dumb. Who is that helping?
No.
You can't even help anyone else.
No, I assume this is in athlete, like even on your teams, like in your team, you're too scared to ask the dumb question. So then you're going to make the whole team dumber because you can't ask the one. I've got, I've got no filter. I'm the first, like, hey, I need help. Like I need, but you only, but you learn that. But
I realized that before. I would start asking the question. I would ask questions that I knew. Mm-hmm. So other people could hear it out loud that I knew that might have been that one, they might not everybody got that. Mm-hmm. So I'll ask, I would do that in our meetings, in our football meetings, because I knew the playbook. So that was one thing so I would ask the question just so the coach had to explain it differently for someone else who could hear it. They needed to see it or hear it differently.
Right. Because everyone learns and does everything kind of differently.
Yeah.
I do think as I'm getting older, and I've always been helpful, like I've always been bossy or motivating, whatever word you want to use. But I think as I'm getting older, I'm getting more tired. So I can't fix everything, right? I can't be everywhere and do everything. But I think it's making me become more aware of more aware and more selective on where I can put my time and my energy, right?
Sure.
Like, so there's projects that I would love to do that I'm like, listen, this is great for me to find Brittany, right? Who is just like Brittany, like, someone that's a little younger that can be molded. I'm like, here's how we want to do, go do that.
Yeah.
Right? Like, so maybe like our way of helping as we get a little more, again, you're older than I am, so, you're old. But like, as we start to like move along, like maybe that's this is like therapy. Like maybe this is the next progression is not us doing all of it, us mentoring for the next generation, the next group of people to become athletes or, coffee shop owners or find a new sport like Dope Pickle or, whatever it is. And I never actually literally promise you, I've never thought about that until this conversation, right? So like have the conversations, right? Like find somebody, whether they're looking to be inspired in business or something else, find someone who you see has a big heart that wants to help and mentor and buy them a cup of coffee. Unless it's
Lean
Macey.
in.
If it's Macey, have him buy you a cup of coffee at his shop because he probably gets a discount.
Yeah, maybe.
But a little bit. But yeah, let's kind of wrap on that because I think that's a good way to end is be aware of where you're at, be aware of who you're with, and try your hardest to either help or help someone help themselves.
Yes.
Right?
100%.
Perfect. I appreciate you coming in. I know you're always, whenever I've had to call, you're always willing to help in whatever way you can. But I'll tell people, like I always do in most of the end of these podcasts, everyone that we interview is super open and super honest and super helpful. Maybe that's why I'm drawn to people that have the same heart that I do. Yeah. So if you're looking at starting a business or you want to become a football player or you want to be a girl dad, well, I don't know if you can pick that, right? Like whatever your things are going to be, reach out to someone that's done it before and ask the questions, ask the dumb questions, ask the smart questions, like write it down, ask it twice, ask it another way. Do all of the things that you can do to help become who you think you want to be. And if it's for business, do that due diligence, like you said, find the spot, do the due diligence twice, maybe find yourself a set of old grandmas that can teach you a lesson or two, right? And that lesson or two may spear you into an entire business.
Absolutely.
Right? So we appreciate you coming on. We're going to link, I can't have you rattle off all your websites, but we'll link them all below. Obviously, if you like our content, hopefully you're inspired, and I will do my best to find someone else to inspire us next time. But we really greatly appreciate you watching us, and hopefully each one of these episodes you can take away a little nuggets. If you do envision yourself as a Scoop Soldiers franchise owner, or you have questions about pet waste removal industry, always reach out. I'm happy to help. Kandra W at scoopsoldiers.com, scoopsoldiersfranchising.com, and of course we'll link all of the things below. Thank you, my friend.
Thanks for having me.